Are you interested in home canning but have no idea where to begin? You may be wondering, what should I can, or how do I can safely? What kind of supplies do I need? If you're thinking any of those things, you are not alone and you are definitely in the right place. And today we are gonna launch our Canning 101 series where we dive into the fundamentals of home canning. I do wanna make a quick disclaimer before we dive in that although I have been canning for over 15 years, I am no certified expert. Everything I share with you comes from my personal experience as well as what the USDA recommends for safe canning. We're gonna kick things off today by discussing the essential things that you need to embark on your canning adventure. Okay, so here is a quick rundown of the supplies that you're gonna need. Now, depending on the type of canning, you're either going to need a pressure cooking pot or just a regular pot. I use a regular pot that is about 20 quarts. You can purchase an aluminum one that is specific for canning, but I just use this stainless steel one that I found that I make other things like my bone broth in. Then there is what is called the pressure cooking pot. So what this does is it will build pressure inside the pot and it raises the temperature so that any bacteria, there are certain bacteria that need to be raised to a really high temperature in order to be killed. And so that is the purpose of the pressure canning pot. And I am going by the USDA recommendations in terms of what foods need to be canned using the water bath method and what foods need to be canned using the pressure cooking method. And this is to prevent certain bacteria that can make you really sick from getting into your foods. Now, I am a rebel canner at times, and there are groups that are called rebel canners, and they will can outside of the USDA recommendations. However, for the purpose of this video series, I am gonna stay within those recommendations, and as you grow in your canning skills and expertise, you can start making some of those judgment calls to maybe can outside of what the USDA recommends. Now, aside from your pot, you will also need your jars. The two most common size jars are the quart jar and the pint jar. And within both of those, you can also get what's called either a wide mouth jar or a regular mouth jar. There's no difference. It's all depending on your preference. There are also other sizes of jars out there. Another common one would be what's called the jelly jar. This is a half pint and it's just a nice size to make your jams and jellies and give them away as gifts. So we have covered the pots. We have covered the jars that you will need. You will also need lids. So these are the lids that have a specific seal that will mold to your jar, and that is how your food ends up being preserved. This is the ring that would go over the lid seal. So I will demonstrate how that works. So imagine this is full of your foods. You put your lid on and you just screw on the ring, and that seal will mold to the jar and eventually become airtight. Some other things that you might want in your kitchen supply for canning would be the funnel. So the funnel just slips right into either the wide mouth or the regular mouth jars, and this prevents any kind of food spillage when you're transferring your foods from your pot to your jar. This is what's called the jar lifter. So when the jars are in the pot and they're hot, then you can lift them right out of the pot and you will not burn your fingers. There is also what's called a lid opener. I don't know that you really need this. This would just be if for some reason your jars are difficult to open. You put this around the ring and you just spin it and it grips the ring and it helps release the lid if for whatever reason it was sticky and tight. And last but not least, this is a fun little tool. This is called your magnetic lid picker upper. And when your lids are warming in the pot prior to using them, then you can easily pick them up out of the pot and again, not burn your fingers or your hands. So there you have it. It's really simple. You don't need a lot of supplies. You can go to your local Ace Hardware. You can go to Tractor Supply or Walmart, or even shop on Amazon for any of these supplies to make your canning adventure easier. I'm so excited to empower you as you embark on this home canning journey where you get to preserve delicious and homemade healthy foods for your family and loved ones. Follow us for more tips and inspiration as we embark on this journey of home canning together.